Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today it's another weekly update of but breaking news. Yep.
Can you have like weekly breaking news? I'm not sure it works that way, does it?
Well, we've got. Forget about it, man.
We got some news.
So we'll start with our big story that did break today. Michael Rosenbaum, you'll remember him as Lex Luthor on Smallville for a number of years, and Sylvester Stallone. I think he's been in a couple movies. You may have heard of him, you may not have.
Cliffhanger.
Both of them have been cast in Guardians of the Galaxy. It is confirmed. Now, Stallone's not really a surprise because I remember hearing quite a while ago that apparently he was going to be in the film, and people were expecting him to pop up in a trailer at some point. Now, the speculation around him is that apparently he's meant to be Nova.
Really? I mean, it's slightly
Yeah, the
old.
one with the mask. Well, he's wearing a mask. Think Judge Dredd. So yeah, I think.
Oh no, please.
As soon as it because all the rumours I've heard ever since, like, from however long ago I first heard about it, their speculation is going to be Nova. And Michael Rosenbaum, obviously the director. What's his name? Something Gunn.
Oh, Sean Gunn. Oh wait, no, that's the
No,
other one,
that's
isn't
the
it?
brother. That's Kirk from the Gilmore Girls.
Oh yeah,
James Gunn in it or something
that's
like
it.
that.
Yeah, James Gunn.
Yeah, so I just clocked it there. He obviously Michael Rosenbaum's had this thing kind of like on the down low for like apparently like 4 years. He's had to keep his mouth shut. I don't know whether that's right. Either 4 years
4 years?
or 4 months. Yeah, I remember it popped up on his Twitter. So apparently, yeah, he's had to keep it kind of wrapped up. But the speculation is come out. James Gunn said himself that he's going to be playing, quote unquote, a cosmic character, and apparently Stallone and him, his characters, are linked somehow.
No.
So I mean,
Hmm.
if he is to play Nova, I mean, as soon as Cosmic popped up, people are like
Warlock.
Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
Maybe speculation is going to go bold again and play the Silver Surfer. But it's like,
No,
I swear they ain't got the rights to that.
No,
That's what I was
no.
thinking. So, bald him up and then paint him silver again. I mean, he's got the head for it. So, yeah.
But I mean, A, look, like I said, they don't have the rights to that, and B, they just do what they did in that pretty awful Silver Surfer Fantastic Four movie. They'll CGI it. You're not gonna have a bloke all in silver, are you?
Yeah, but it's interesting as well because he's like quite a notable voice actor. I mean, for many like Justice League things, he's kind of played the Flash for like a number of years.
He is, but it's Guardians. I mean, if he is playing Warlock, that's a big deal for him. I mean, good for him, I guess.
I mean, well, he has a kind of friendship with James Gunn. So yeah, apparently they're very important characters. So I mean, how important is Nova? And I mean, Adam Warlock could be a massive character, right? And you got to think he's got to pop up soon. Whether he'll feature a little bit, but you got to think if he is, then he's going to pop up in the Infinity War films, because in terms of like revolving around the Infinity Stones, is a big character.
Oh yeah, big time. He's probably the big. He's not a particularly mainstream character at all, but he is probably the big cosmic character, and he does have quite a cool storyline with super evil, like, future version of himself and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, it would make sense if you're going to do an Infinity Stones movie, have Warlock, but wow, that's impressive. If he is playing Warlock, that's impressive for him. Good for him.
No, but a lot of people are kind of landed on their feet with this film. I mean, Karen Gillan, she went from kind of like being in Doctor Who straight off that to being like Nebula.
Right, but it's actually went straight into it though. Right, that went from a notable show into a pretty big role in the movie. Michael Rosenbaum, aside from...
He's been working steadily though.
Yeah, but he did that show. It didn't do particularly well. He hasn't been Lex Luthor aside from the finale since the end of season 7. That's a long time ago now. So really, this is a big get for him.
Yeah. Moving on from that, Henry Cavill has been cast in Mission Impossible 6.
Okay.
Which I suppose is into that spine stuff, because obviously he was in what was he in, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
That didn't really set the world on fire, but maybe it'd be good as a supporting character.
Yeah, is he going to be in the team or is he going to be the villain?
I don't know. Really, this is kind of preliminary stuff. Right, Venom. You've obviously heard the news from that. There've been a lot. I mean, it's come out, but kind of a lot of people seem to think it's gonna be negative for the Spider-Man Homecoming. The fact that they're coming out with a Venom film.
Well, because the thing is, I think people are just, myself included, are kind of confused. Because no one really knows what this is. You know, it's like, is it connected to the MCU? Is it connected to Spider-Man? Can you do Venom without having Spider-Man in it? Is Venom going to be about Eddie Brock? Is it going to be about Flash Thompson?
Yeah, I see. That's the kind of problem, because I mean, you've got to think that Spider-Man: Homecoming is kind of a joint venture, but you got to kind of think, is that how it's always going to be? Spider-Man's always going to be a joint venture between that and that. You know what I mean?
Right, and also, does that include Venom? Is Venom part of the deal they've made with the MCU? It's a Sony movie, obviously, but
realistically, how's Venom going to fit in the MCU?
Well, I mean, if they're doing an Infinity Wars movie, Spider-Man's going to be in it. It's going to be in space, so he could conceivably get the symbiote during that movie, and then bring it back to Earth, and then get rid of the symbiote, and then it goes off and jumps onto Eddie Brock or Flash, whoever, and then you do the Venom movie. But that, you know what I mean? That's a lot of plot movement in what, a year?
Yeah, that's what I mean, because it's scheduled to release on the 6th of December 2018, which was originally the same time as the Aquaman film was going to come out, but now Aquaman's been pushed back a couple weeks to the... Let me just get that up.
Is it not a couple months?
Nah, 21st of December.
Well, that's it?
Yeah, apparently Henry Cavill's going to play the lead right man to the head of Ethan Hunt's MIF unit. So Alec Baldwin played the head and is just going to be like, what? A guy standing there. A liaison or whatever.
See, I don't know if that's good for him or not. Because
small role. Don't have to overexert himself.
Right, but the thing is, in these movies, is they try to insert, what's his name, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, right? In a similar way, they gave him his own Bourne movie. Like, this is going to take over that franchise. It didn't work. They brought back Matt Damon, and then his first movie in Mission Impossible, it looked like they were setting him up to have a big co-starring role and maybe take the franchise on as well, and then that went away. Tom Cruise is the hero of the movie. Like, is it going to benefit Henry Cavill to be stood there with Tom Cruise? Well, Tom Cruise, a guy who, let's face it, is in his mid-50s, is doing all the cool action stuff, while bloody Superman just stands there and presumably does nothing.
Well.
Then again, as long as the movie's good, it can't hurt being in a good movie.
Exactly. So, yeah, Aquaman's been pushed back. Do you think because it was in direct competition with Venom, it thought, you want to know what, Venom's going to be more of a pull than Aquaman will be, let's kick it back 2 weeks?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think they just don't want competition. And
2 weeks is nothing. Like, I don't know why. I thought, I'll be honest, I didn't really look into the story. I just saw a lot of people freaking out over, there's another DC delay, 2 weeks.
Yeah, but to be honest, like, the superhero thing, generally by the second week, the kind of, unless it's like a massive film, the revenue kind of drops by at least like half. There's like a massive drop off for superhero films unless they're really good. So I mean, by the time Aquaman comes out, Venom would pretty much drop off, and that's if it's like an okay movie. I mean, really, in terms of...
Also, it's December, right?
Yeah.
So, what, Han Solo is going to be coming out around the same time as well. I think 2018, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like...
Oh, wait, no, I think that's in the summer, actually.
Okay then. To be honest, I'd be hyped for a Venom film.
Look, I'm not against the Venom film. It's just like I said,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
I
just saying
don't
it
know.
looks to be a good pull.
Right, yeah, but what I'm saying, I get the optimism. I wish I had it. It's just I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
That's
I'll be honest. I wouldn't really know where they'd go from it as well. I mean, who's the villain gonna be? Is it
right.
gonna be him versus Carnage? That'd
Probably.
that'd be pretty
But I
sick.
mean, look, to be honest, let's face it. That's always the thing in the superhero movies, isn't it? You fight a slightly different version of yourself.
Hmm.
So probably, yeah.
That'd be sick though. Apparently Ridley Scott's planning four more movies in the Alien franchise. Four.
Four more. Dude's like 73 years old. Rock on, I guess. I mean, I didn't like Prometheus, but if Alien Covenant's good, then he created it as well. Go. What I will say is though, that it completely your man who did District 9 and Chaffee and Elysium, I forget his name, but he was meant to do an Alien movie.
Yeah,
This is crapped all over it. That's not happening at all. You can forget about that one.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess he's got to hope Alien Covenant's good. If not, oops. The new Matrix film is not a remake or a reboot.
Ugh. And
Sequel? Question mark. Yeah, apparently
a
from
sequel
Zach.
to what?
Apparently from Zach Penn, it's not a remake or a reboot. So what is it then? Is
I
it is
don't.
it is it in the same universe? Is it like Rogue One, like in the same universe but elsewhere around the same time it's going on?
Who knows? The thing is, are we? The question I would have, and I like to make sure it's, but I suppose it's more of a question for the general public, would be: are we at a point now where the bad taste has been washed out of people's mouth from the sequels? Because they were
Uh,
bad, and they were really bad, and people turned.
the problem is, it's Star Wars syndrome. Star Wars: The Force Awakens, the new like trilogy sequels has started something. Now everyone thinks they can bring everything back for a cash cow. They see the money that Star Wars has made being rebooted and thought, oh, we're going to bring everything back whether it needs to or not. Because really, Star Wars didn't really need to come back. They could have left it how it was, but they smelt the cash. So I mean, yeah, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon now to remake the old stuff, good or not. I guess if they see where they went wrong with the original trilogy, I mean, maybe they can rework something. But whether the Wachowskis are going to come back or whatever, in that case, where's that going to go?
I mean, but the Wachowskis, in my opinion, since first Matrix, have made absolute crap,
Hmm.
including two Matrix movies. So I just think it's weird. I mean, it's not even that old. The Matrix. It's only 20 years ago. Not even that. It's 18 years ago.
Hmm.
Well, there you go.
Um, in other DC news, they're looking to film something this year to fill the void that Batman has left because that has been pushed back, both filming and the release date. So obviously this week as well, Ben Affleck come out and said he's completed rehabilitation for alcohol dependency. So whether
What's
that
this
was
then?
like, I wonder what that kind of, yeah, his marriage kind of fell apart, but now it's kind of like back on track. Because
Who cares? That's his business. But I mean, there's no way it didn't affect the movie.
yeah, that's probably why he dropped out as probably a thing with director as well. I mean, it must have been a lot of stress for him, and he must have. I mean, if he was drinking or trying to like rehabilitate himself, he has to be in that kind of frame of mind. So if he's got a lot of stress and stuff like that underneath him, you got to
Well, and
see
bear in
why.
mind, he was making that gangster movie, which didn't do well at the same time as well. So it's probably been a tough period for him. Now we know they're going to do another page one rewrite of the Batman movie. So
Yeah.
yes, that will be pushed back probably about a year or so. So
The problem is they got too gassed. They got too gassed by green lighting it, announcing it, and getting like the hype train going like straight away. They was like as soon as he was cast, they were like right, we've green lit Batman versus Superman, and this
thing
is
is,
like
they kind of had to though, didn't they? Because he's the only thing which universally people liked out of that movie. Whether you liked the movie or not, the only thing that most people tend to agree on was Batman was cool. Even though I didn't really dig him killing people, but whatever. Aside from that, it was a cool thing, and they needed all the goodwill they can get. How do you get goodwill? And now she's going to do a Batman movie, and that's an Academy Award-winning guy, not personally, or he's an Academy Award-winning writer, who's going to do the movie. But now, what are they going to put
Ben
in its place?
Affleck's won an Academy Award for directing.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He won Best Movie, but he wasn't even nominated for director.
Oh.
Argo. He won for writing with Matt Damon on Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, I know that. So yeah,
What takes his place?
whatever film that's gonna be, you'd figure Aquaman.
No, Aquaman's been. No, we know what date Aquaman's at, don't we?
No, not to be released, but to start filming.
What do you mean?
As in, they're gonna start like whereas they would have started filming the Batman movie this year. Obviously, that's been pushed back, so they're not going to film that.
Aquaman's already filmed.
So they're going to have to film something else.
They've already filmed Aquaman. Aquaman's
okay,
done. I think it's in post-production. What takes his place? Maybe that Harley Quinn thing, whatever that is.
There's Gotham City Sirens, Green Lantern Corps. I mean, Shazam. I mean, to be honest, like that's really up in the air. I mean, we haven't really got any cast. We still ain't got a Shazam yet, so you got to write Shazam out. The Green Lantern's apparently going to be Abin Sur in Justice League, so we haven't got a Hal Jordan or John Stewart. Gotham City Sirens. There's speculation Haley Bennett's going to be Catwoman, but then again, you ain't got a Poison Ivy, you ain't got a villain, you ain't got nothing yet. So,
who's Haley Bennett?
What was she in? She was in The Girl on the Train, the blonde girl out of that. She kind of looks a lot.
How old was she?
She kind of looks a lot like Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know, about 28, I guess.
28.
Yeah, but she looks pretty much like.
Batman's 45.
I know what to tell you. Maybe she's a bit older. I don't know her age per se, but yeah, she looks kind of nice, and as I said, she looks like a kind of.
That's crazy.
Jennifer Lawrence, just as hot. Let's see, what else have we got here? Big news for the Game of Thrones people. The dragons are apparently going to be the size of 747s.
I don't know what that means.
The aeroplanes. Boeing 747, massive jumbo jet, and it's like, well, the end they were flying over the sea, so you're trying to say in the time it takes for them to kind of go from the sea from Essos to Westeros, that these dragons are going to double in size in like a couple months. What are they going to eat?
People.
Whales.
Are there whales in Game of Thrones?
You got to think there's stuff in the sea. Injustice fans, earlier on in the week, Monday, Firestorm was announced. So you got some gameplay trailer there of Firestorm. He looks pretty cool. A bit of diversity there. James Gunn get Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Well, Volume 3 will happen. Shock.
Well, no shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, announce Volume 4. For news, Adam Kozad is apparently going to be the screenwriter for Suicide Squad 2.
Ugh.
Legion confirmed for season 2. That was pretty much a given. You'd expect that to happen. Edward James Olsen confirmed for Blade Runner. You can remember he played Gav in the original film. What?
Edward James almost.
Oh, whatever.
Whoever, it's his name.
Why did I write Olsen? That's a bit trippy.
I don't know.
The final series of I keep getting thrown up because GOT and GOT.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, not Guardians of the Galaxy, but Game of Thrones. The final season is going to be 6 episodes long.
Okay, but I mean, how long are the episodes going to be?
That's what I was thinking. I mean, if they're hour and a half, yeah, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt them being an hour. I mean, you want it to be concise, terse, and succinct. You don't want to have a lot of like blah 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 blithering on. You just want to get it done and finish it and make it solid. You know what I mean? Don't throw stuff in there to be superfluous. If they're like 1.5 hours long each, that would be kind of good. But I mean, that would pretty much be like. But I think really, they're going to throw a lot of expense at it, because obviously some of this season forthcoming. I mean, the plot of that's kind of been leaked, so I mean, apparently, like in the final episode, the wall's coming down. The White King kills one of the dragons, and now that's his mount. So he's going to be flying around on a zombie dragon, shooting blue flames. So I mean, you got to think that's gonna, when it all kicks off, that's going to cost a lot of money. You got to think it's going to be going straight for King's Landing, so there's going to be a massive zombie people battle. So that's going to be fat cash. So yeah,
Yeah,
6
they've got a
episodes.
big budget though, haven't they?
Oh yeah, I mean like the Battle of the Bastards, which I think was the penultimate episode of this season or last season, whatever. That cost like 10 million to kind of do
What, a battle scene?
the whole
The entire
episode.
episode. I was going
The
to say,
whole
well, I
episode.
mean, even that's
I know,
ridiculous.
I know the dragons cost money, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I know that the guy who writes it was George R.R. Martin. I know he gets a kickback of like 50 million a year from it, so you got to think like, I mean, this
No
show's
wonder he ain't finishing those last books. Who cares?
you got to think that flipping these episodes must rake in like easily like 100 million and stuff like that.
Holy hell.
Easily. So I mean, I'd kick the budget. I mean, it's going to be massive, and think it's going to be streamed for years to come. I mean, probably in like a couple years after it finishes, I don't know, maybe I'll watch the whole thing again, but I mean, that's kind of superfluous.
Oh, mate, that's got prequel series written all over it. You know there's going to be one.
Yeah, or we'll just write more books, you know what I mean? It's pretty solid. Doctor Who news, the new trailer came out. It had Missy in it, so she's going to be in it, even though I think she was confirmed for the finale anyway. And it's got a weird girl Dalek exterminate person in it, so you got to think that was a hybrid that was hinted at last year, that obviously Missy and the Daleks have been working on since then. So yeah, all you Glee fans, this week Supergirl and Flash crossover, star-crossed and duet episode each in the Flash episode of Supergirl as well. You've obviously got Melissa Benoit, who
Their
played
noise, man.
Marley in
Learn her name.
who played Marley in Glee. Then you got Grant Gustin, who played, can't remember the guy. And then obviously you got Darren Criss, who played, I forget his name as well. I haven't watched it for a while.
Big fan of Glee, yeah?
Darren Criss is going to be. I only watched the first 3 seasons. Darren Criss is going to play the Music Meister, so it's pretty much a family reunion, as it were. So that's going to be a completely pointless episode. But all you musical fans who liked Glee, obviously it's going to be a big pull. I guarantee it gets like. Each episode gets about 500,000 viewers more than it did for the episode before, just because it's kind of all the Glee fans are going to swarm. So yeah, that has been your weekly news, all your updates, hot discussion. I'm Sam,
I'm not.
and we'll see you in the same place next week for breaking news.